Okay, so welcome to today's Bay Growth Call, guys. I'm super excited to host this today because we will have another lection. Actually, we have two lessons of thinking into results, guys. The course that some of our leaders are doing right now in order to change the paradigm, shift our paradigm, changing our mindset. And the most important thing basically for this entire business is literally your mindset. Okay, it is all about like changing your paradigm and changing your behavior, changing your habits in order to become most successful. What I want you to do, guys, now is really drop your screenshot right now in the chat, put this call on your story so everybody knows what's up, that this is our schedule every single week, guys. Tuesday is Bay Growth Call, okay? So make sure that you're on here on a regular basis, okay? We are so many more people into the chat, so we need to get the call packed. Okay, guys, so definitely let your teams know, call them up if they are not on this call right now. And I'm about to start this. I'm actually going to start with lesson 5. I'm going to wait until Julia's on here as well. She will do lesson, or you guys have to wait for Julia. So she's doing lesson 6. Okay. So lesson 5 was the trick to staying in charge no matter the circumstances, guys. And that was literally all about really like having that inner view of yourself and being aware of that interview, because most of the time people are more like living from the outside in than actually living from the inside out. Okay, but we need to start from the inside because that's where it all starts, right? So many people, we're all waiting for other people to change for us, for other people to support us, for other people to tell you what to do, for other people, like for other like situations, for other circumstances to change, right? We're waiting for the change to, instead of like changing by ourselves, because it all starts from within, right? Before I like, and I want to just quickly give you guys like a little bit of a story time. Before I started this business, guys, I was super depressed. Okay, it was a point in my life where I didn't know like what I'm going to do. I didn't know what I wanted. I was super like fed up. I was sick and tired. I came right of a really toxic relationship and lost literally everything with my job and my apartment and all of that stuff. Okay, so it was definitely a really tough time. But at this time where I hit rock bottom, I knew that nothing is going to change if I'm not personally changing myself, right? I read the book The Secret, guys, and that was literally, for me, that was personally my game changer book, because that's where it all started for me. Okay, that's where I got really into that personal development and actually taking ownership and responsibility of my life. Okay, and it was tough to admit that. It was definitely tough, because once you realize that everything that you have in your life right now, you attracted that for yourself, and that you are the one who is in charge, that is kind of hard, because obviously we're all going through shit in our lives, right? We all have like tough situations. We all have, obstacles in our life. And when we are, being aware of the fact that we attracted that into our life, it's kind of like hard. Of course, you don't want to be like treated unfair. Of course, you don't want to go through toxic relationships. You don't want to have, toxic friendships. You don't want to, go through, I don't know, health issues or whatsoever in your life, right? We don't want that. But at the same time, what do you think about most of the time? What do you think about most of the time? How do you feel most of the time? And that specific time in my life where I was going through shit, guys, I felt like shit. I was thinking about shit. Literally every single day I was literally telling everybody all around me, oh my God, I hate my life. And it literally became a habit to say that. I hate my life like 10 times a day. How should I expect to have something positive out of that? To attract good out of that? Because I was not feeling it. I was not saying it. I was literally speaking it into existence, right? So you guys, you need to be really careful what you're thinking and what you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling every single day, because that's exactly what will reflect on the outside, right? It will reflect, like your inside will reflect on the outside. Okay, so it's super important that you are aware of the fact that everything is starting from within. Okay, most people want to know, most people don't even know how powerful their mind actually is. And guys, let me tell you, like, before I started this business, and I was jobless, sitting at home, had a lot of time on my hands, and of course, like the first couple of days, I was just like laying down, doing nothing, questioning my existence, questioning my life, questioning my decisions, questioning myself. And I did not know what to do. But then I had this book, and that literally really was my hope at that time, because for the first time ever, I realized that I can take my control back. Okay. And in that time where I was depressed, I was feeling out of control. I was feeling like I don't have control over my life, about nothing. And I felt helpless. And that feeling of feeling helpless made it even worse, because like the worst thing for me is like, for me, that feeling of not being able to help, you know, other people, not being able to help myself even, and not knowing how to even change that. And when I read that book, so guys, if you haven't read that book, definitely do it. It's like such a good book. And it also has even like a movie on Netflix. And in that book, it really was like, hey, you are attracting the things that you're thinking about, you creating your life that you really want. And I took ownership about that. And that really made that shift for me. Hey, I am in control. I can change my life. I can change myself and my behavior, right? And that's all you got to do, like taking ownership and taking responsibility, and not only thinking about, oh my God, like if my parents would just like, you know, born rich, if I would just have been born rich, it would be so much easier. Oh my God, if I would, you know, get that job, it would be so much easier. No, guys, everything that is happening right now to you, it is happening for you, not to you. Okay. I believe everything happens for a reason, because it really does. It really is like that, right? So we have mental tools, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a little bit of my notes. We have mental tools. Okay, the first tool is the perception, which is the point of view. Okay, so if I'm, for example, I'm holding this book right now, right? You see it from your point of view, right? If I turn that book from the inside, it's like a different view, right? And that's just like a small, stupid example, but that's like with literally everything in your life. You can always change the point of view. Have you ever heard that saying of, you know, there's always two sides of the story? Because it is, right? Everyone lives in their own reality. Everyone has their own point of view. Everyone has their own habits, their own way of thinking, their own limiting beliefs, their own belief system, their own agreements. And that is another thing that you should definitely read, guys. Another book, The 4 Agreements. That, like, my mind was blown after I read that. And let me tell you guys, I was literally like preparing myself for this business. Okay, 6 months of personal development, not going out because it was lockdown. So there was not even a possibility for me to go out. But I was really, really diving deep into personal development and like kind of fixing myself, right? So you can expect to get into this business and that it just all works like that, because you're changing something right now, right? And change is painful, change is hard, right? But what is even harder is not changing and regretting it later on. So what you have to do, all you have to do is like literally be on these calls, do the things that we tell you guys, read those books and work on yourself. Okay, fix your mindset before you fix your bank account, or at least do it at the same time. Okay, so the perception is the point of view, right? Then we have the will, which is the ability to focus and concentrate. And I'm going to give you guys a task later on. If you don't have like a really strong will, and that is like a huge tool for you guys to become really successful in this, because your willpower can really do a lot, right? It's your ability to focus, to concentrate, to stay disciplined. And if you're constantly just waiting for the feeling of motivation to start doing something, well, it might take a while to become motivated. You know, we have 2 calls every single week, right? You could be doing so much more than just waiting for these motivational calls in order to do something, right? By actually staying disciplined and just following a schedule, staying organized, right? Staying focused and concentrated, right? And for me, being at that, you know, low point of my life, and I was literally feeling like I don't have any control, it was my willpower that brought me out of that, right? I just wanted it so freaking badly. There was no other option but me becoming successful with this, but me becoming, you know, a better version of myself. It was my willpower, like my freaking desire, that wanted to bring me out of that. And that's how I was able to stay focused and concentrated, because there was nothing else for me but this. There was nothing else for me but making 6 figures, you know, traveling around the world, helping my family, and just finally living the life that I want to live. Okay, then we have the imagination, and that is probably the most powerful tool that we have, because everything is built by your imagination, right? There's always ideas out there. Like there's always like an idea exists 2 times. One time it exists in someone's mind, and one time it is created. But first, that imagination, like that idea was like an image in somebody's head, right? Like when there was no cars there, it was an image. Somebody thought, well, walking is really, really tough. I just want to sit my ass somewhere and drive, right? So it was created by somebody. So all the things that you see in the world, especially all the things that you see in the world, it's even easier if you think that everything is already created for you. Everything is already out there. You just have to get up and like get it, right? If you want to become a millionaire, these millions, like this money is already out there. And especially because other people already became a millionaire, it makes it even easier, because it's not something that, you don't have to come up with a complete new thing. There's, tools, there's coaches, there's mentorship that literally guides you the way, but you need to, use your other tools of your mind, like the will power, in order to stay focused, in order to stay, disciplined, in order to get there. Right? But use your imagination and really think about, what do you actually really want? And we tell you guys that multiple times, because that is like truly something where some people are missing out on. And I realized that on the last call that we had with Jose, because he was, asking very specific questions, like, what do you really want? Like, okay, you want a car. Okay, what brand is that car? How looks the inside of the car? How does it feel? How does it smell? Like really, really detailed. And if you think about, like, if I'm just describing an image for you guys right now, like think about a wood, and in that wood, there's a house, and that house has like, I don't know, it's out of whatever. Like if I'm just like explaining something to you guys, and I'm really like creating that image for you guys, you have that image in your head. If I'm telling you guys, think about an elephant, you have the image of an elephant in your head, right? And it's with everything that you want is already out there. So you just have to start thinking about it and like create that image of you having that, what you actually desire in your life already. Because the brain cannot really, it doesn't know if something is a reality or not, right? Sometimes when we, like, even when we dream, it seems to be so real that we cannot even figure out if it's like, sometimes it often happens to me. Like, sometimes I don't even know, like, was that a dream or not? Because the mind can trick you, and you can trick your mind, right? Your mind is constantly tricking you with like limiting beliefs and all the things that you think you cannot achieve. But you can also trick your mind by actually, practicing and like changing that paradigm of you thinking that you cannot achieve certain things. By constantly repeating it, by constantly telling yourself, I can do this, I can have this and that, and being detailed with it and using your imagination, okay? So the imagination is the really, really powerful tool, guys. Then we have the memory. Everything and anything can be developed through association. Super, super important, guys. Then we have the reason, the ability to think even, right? And then we have the intuition, the sense of energy. So literally, like, guys, I'm like such an intuitional person, or intuitive person, whatever the word is. Anyways, I'm listening a lot to my intuition, right? But there was a time when I was not really listening to my intuition, because I had that curling of not going to work 9 to 5, like way before. I was introduced into network marketing way before, and my intuition said, I really want this, but I got talked out of that. I didn't use my willpower. I didn't use my imagination. I didn't use my intuition. So if you use all these tools that I just described to you guys, as like, you practice all of these tools, and do like specific tasks in order to strengthen these tools of your mind, and you like have them united working for yourself, that can be a true game changer, guys. Okay, so the thinking is the pull of energy into your consciousness. Okay, we create the thoughts, right? We create thoughts. Thoughts are pictures, So, you know, imagination, like we think in pictures. And that's the saying of like, we don't get what we want, we get what we picture. And it's so important to really visualize the things that you really want. Like, that's why we tell you guys, create vision boards for yourself, really like paint it in your head, right? And if you cannot paint it so good in your head by yourself, like I did this a lot with like meditation and really like, you know, diving deep into what I actually want, but also with vision boards. And literally like the other day I was on my Pinterest, where I have saved all of my, you know, things that inspire me, things that, you know, that I want to have in my life within pictures. And I'm just like scrolling through it and seeing all those things and getting excited and getting happy and imagine myself like, you know, doing all this stuff, like traveling and being in this place and sitting in that car and stuff like that. And I was literally going like just scrolling through like last year, all the pictures that I saved. And it was so funny because there was just like so many small random things that I saved that I couldn't even remember anymore, but I got them later on or even now. And that was super funny because I didn't even remember, but I pictured it. I imagined myself with this, right? So all these mental tools, guys, really, really powerful. Start using them. I hope you're all taking notes. So we have the present results, right? We have the present results right now, which is the next topic of the lesson. So the present results that you have right now, that is obviously what you're seeing, right? The circumstances that you see around yourself, if you're not wealthy right now, whatsoever. But these present results, they cause thoughts. Either the thought of you can have something or you can have something whatsoever, right? And this is like paired with your limiting beliefs that you also have. Like, you know, you think, oh, I don't have this right now, I could never have that. But that's not true, okay? So these thoughts cause feelings, right? And these feelings cause actions. So it's always results, thoughts, feelings, action. Okay, it's like the circle. And if you want to like change that, okay, the train of thoughts, basically, you cannot let the outside control your inside. You need to control your inside to control the outside. And that's what I talked in the beginning about, that you really need to change the internal to change the external and start there, right? Change your way of thought. Like, look at your results. Okay, think about that, write that down. Look at your results. Is it what you want? Is it what you want right now? And if not, write down a list of all the things that you want and start picturing it, start imagining it, start visualizing it, create the new train of thought, create a new train of feelings. And once you're getting really, really deeply involved, and that's why we talk about go into details, right? Once you really, truly get emotionally involved with those goals that you have, with the results that you want to have, that is like training your, you know, also like using your willpower and training your willpower to actually get to these goals. Okay. So what was the next thing? Change the perception, change the point of view. Why should you not be the person who actually has what you like, all you want, right? Train your willpower. And that is like one of the tasks that I've found kind of funny was like the candle exercise. So just sit down, you know, somewhere and have like a burning candle, and then just stare at the candle and see how long you can actually stare at the candle without getting distracted. It's like a very, very simple exercise, guys, but it's actually really funny because not a lot of people, like, they're getting so fast distracted. And that's when you know that you're not really able to concentrate that much. Think about like your business, how many hours you actually like actively being productive and not just busy putting in. How many hours of productive work do you have, and how many times you're getting distracted by a phone call, by messages, by Instagram, by TikTok, like just scrolling and then, oh, oops, we have the next year, right? You really have to stay focused and train this willpower of you being able to focus, of you being able to, you know, just follow your desires, follow your goals. Okay. Then we had some like the lessons, like we always have these lessons. So we have like one video basically that we have to watch, and then there's like a whole workbook where you can, you know, train your what's it called? Change the paradigm. Okay. So think about, the first thing is, think about a situation that is not going well right now. Write it down. Think about a situation that is not going well. What are your thoughts on that situation? How do you feel having that situation like going wrong, for example? And then the second part is transform that situation of and thinking. Write it down in the actual situation that you would want to have in the present tense. Like you can see, it's really like a lot of writing down, like all these past lessons, we always had to write down this type of things. And we do it repeatedly, guys. Over and over and over again. It's not just done with like writing it down one single time. That's why we keep on telling you, write down your goals multiple times. Have that goal card with you that you can carry around, and really like every single time you grab into your purse, like you see that goal card and you're like, wow, okay, that's my goal. Train that imagination, training that willpower to stay the course and to follow that dream, that goal. Okay. Use your imagination, guys. Like that is definitely something that you need to like train your willpower and you train your imagination. Have like what I sometimes do, like usually every single night or at least once a week, I have like just an hour where I'm just like thinking, where I'm just writing down things, reflecting on my goals, creating new game plans, even if the game plan that I actually have or the goals that I have didn't change, but sometimes we can add up new things, or we can improve on some things. And I'm just writing it down to see where I'm at right now and to just give myself the time to reflect and give myself a time to repeat all these things. I'm listening constantly to the same type of stuff, guys, the same type of things, listening it over and over and over again, because obviously you change, right? So don't think you read a book one time and you're listening to an audio one time and then you're done and you know it all. Guys, you have to be coachable. You have to stay coachable, right? So make sure that you're doing all these tasks, guys. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to bring up Julia now. Let me just search and make a co-host as well. Okay. So guys, we have Julia on here today, okay, as well. And she's going to go over the lesson 6, guys. I hope you all are still on here taking your notes and really participating. I hope that's why the chat is so empty today. But guys, really make sure to do these tasks. Really make sure to take your notes and dive into like yourself, right? Because that's the only way that you're ever going to get different type of results. Okay, so we have Julia on here, my partner in crime. I love her so much. I could never do this business without her, my crazy chick. So Julia, take over, babe.
Hello guys, can you please pin me because I'm on my phone? Is the quality good? Yeah, the quality is good. Okay guys, so thank you so much, Alina. Honestly, that was so much value, guys. If you have not taken notes, I don't know why you're on this call right now, for real. So my part is gonna be a bit shorter, but it's gonna be so effective, and it's such a big thing that if you try to work on it and if you really try to understand it, it's going to change everything for you. So before we get into this, I want to ask you guys, who has a fucked up image of themselves? Just put it into the chat. Who thinks they're not good enough? Who thinks that if they would look a different way, they would have different results? Who thinks that, I don't know, because of their past, because of things that happened to them, they don't have the results that they want? Who thinks that maybe if they get a nose operation or a boob job or whatever, that things will change for them? Just put it into the chat. I bet all of us have a fucked up self-image in some kind of way, because it's just normal, right? We think that we need to have certain things. We think we need to, we're always running after something and never feel really good with ourselves how we are right now. But I'm here to tell you that you are good just as you are. You're good just as you are. And before I dive into this, just for you to know that, I want to start with the quote, guys. And this quote says, "The results you are achieving is a direct reflection of the image of yourself you are holding inside of you. Improve the image and the improvement will automatically reflect in your results." So I'm telling you, the people that you see that have the results, that live the life, that achieve the things that you want to achieve, they have a better understanding of themselves. And I'm telling you, the people that have a good self-image and the people that have a bad self-image, the only difference is that these other people that have a good self-image, they know themselves better, they get to know themselves better, they have a different kind of view about themselves. Because I was always this kind of girl, I was like, okay, when I get the money to get my lips done, everything is going to change. When I get, I don't know, when I can put in extensions, everything is going to change. And this is also true, right? This is also true, like in most cases, when someone gets, I don't know, when someone gets something operated, or I don't know, changes their hair color, or just changes something in themselves, their confidence automatically improves. But it's not always like that. And I just want you guys to know, that the opinion, okay, the opinion that you have of yourself, let me repeat that, opinion, okay, remember that word, opinion. The opinion you have of yourself will always be reflected to the world around you. The opinion that you have of yourself, and it will manifest in the results that you achieve in life. So if you have a shit opinion about yourself, you don't need to worry if you have shit results. But the good thing, guys, the good thing is that it is only an opinion. It is your opinion about yourself. And what can we do with opinions? We can change opinions. So you can change your self-image. You can change the way that you look at yourself, the way you treat yourself. Because when you change the way how you look at yourself, how you feel about yourself, it will reflect into your results. And if you have a bad image about yourself, if you feel bad about yourself, it's going to show into your results. So we have two ways, right? We have the self-image. This is everything what goes in it internally, the way you walk, the way no, not the way you walk, what you are, who you are, and what you are worth, what you think you are worth, because of all the things that you've learned in your life, all the things that have happened to you. This is the self-image, right, that you have internally, that no one outside in this world has access to, only you. And no one can see the self-image you hold into yourself other than you show it outside. But most of the time, the way we carry ourselves in our outside image is as well how we feel in our inside, right? So we have the self-image, everything that is going in inside, and we have the outside image, which is the way how we walk, the way we treat ourselves, the way how we look. Guys, I can tell you, back then, I don't know, I didn't put my makeup on, I didn't even look like a girl, I didn't give a fuck if my hair is brushed or not, like 3 years ago, for example, because I just didn't care, because I felt unworthy. I felt like, who cares, who even cares about me? I don't even care about myself. And this is what I put out on this world. Or if you don't, I don't know, if you stop showering, if you stop brushing your teeth, it's because something is going on internally. And if it goes on internally, you're going to put it out on the outside. The people that you see that just carry on themselves so well, where you would be like, wow, I just wish I could be that person for a day. They have a good self-image of themselves. Obviously, they also have traumas. Obviously, they also have things that they go through, but they just know more who they are than you know who you are. But how can we change that perception of ourselves? We can change that by getting to know ourselves more. And how do we do that? By getting out of our confidence more, out of our comfort zone, where we get to know ourselves by starting personal development, guys. Guys, I was a girl, back then. I was like, okay, I'm done with school, have everything done, and now I don't need to learn anything more. Finally, I'm done with education. Finally, I'm done with learning something, because now I'm out of school and I don't need to learn anything new. But I never learned something about myself, I never got to know myself. Never. I was just at home, going to school, learning for my exams, going home, showering, eating food, going back to school. But I was always just existing. And I was like, we all of us come at some point in our life, come to these thoughts where we're like, why am I even here? Like, what am I even doing? What is even the purpose of all of this? And I'm telling you, if you start getting to know yourself, if you start learning about, for example, psychocybernetics, this is the whole lecture that Bob Proctor is talking about, is all about psychocybernetics. Guys, get this book, Psychocybernetics. I started this book like 2 weeks ago, and it completely changed everything for me. There is no other book on your self-image, on the way how you can change the way how you look at yourself, how you can understand how everything is going inside of you, than this book. I'm going to write it down into the chat later, okay? Who asked that? I'm going to write it down into the chat. Okay, so what did I want to say? Your self-image determines how the world sees you. Okay, because it's the way how you treat yourself. It's obviously the way how everyone else is going to see you. So you got to start caring about yourself, you know, start learning about yourself, start learning more about emotions, about relationships, about feelings, about how the mind works, guys. Because if you know why you act a certain way, if you know why you feel a certain way, why you have certain traumas, if you know why this all happens, because we're all from the same nature, right? This is the good thing. We all are from the same nature, but everyone does something different out of this, because we all have different experiences, obviously, we all react a different way. But if you find out what a self-image is, if you find out how you can change your self-image, if you find out how the mind works, how to talk, how to just carry yourself a different way, you will feel so good about yourself. You will feel so good, because everything is already written, everything already has an explanation, you know. But if you don't want to learn, if you say, okay, I've learned everything in school, I don't need to learn more, then obviously you're going to carry through life not liking yourself, not having any confidence, not being like, where you walk down the street and someone looks at you, you will feel like, oh my god, what is wrong with my face? Why do they look at me like this? And I used to be that kind of person back then, until I got to know myself. And then I was like, I know what power I hold inside of me, so talk to me nice. Okay, so guys, what if I tell you, okay, what if I tell you that inside of your consciousness, there is perfection in every single person. But this perfection that we have inside of us, what I told you at the beginning, that we are enough, that you are enough as you are, right? The perfection that you hold inside of us is so clouded with your fears, with your insecurities, with your doubts, with the things that have just been put on you throughout your whole life. And you just think that this is correct, you know. So you are enough just as you are. This is what I want to say. And everything you've learned throughout your whole life just made it cloudier and cloudier and cloudier and cloudier, that you completely forgot who you even are. Sorry, my laptop just turned off. That you completely forgot who you even are. So our job in this life is to find this inner perfection again, to go after, to get to know ourselves, to learn and find out more about ourselves, so that we can carry ourselves different, and will all reflect in our results. If you don't get the results right now that you have, that you truly want, or if you have negativity around you, or everything is just not going good, just ask yourself, what is actually going inside of you? What is going on inside of you? Because I can tell you for fact, if everything would be good, if you would have a good way in how you look at yourself, how you look at the world, how you look at everything, the things in your life would be different, because you would look at it in a different way, you know? So it's so important that you get to know yourself, okay? Get to know yourself. Okay, so guys, as I said, this lecture is going to be really short, but it was just all about the self-image, so that you know that we all have the self-image inside of us. And the people that have better results than you have, the people that live a better life than you do, they just have a better perception of themselves, because they get to know themselves more, because they actually make it a mission every day to get them know themselves, to trust themselves. How many times did you tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but then you didn't do it? But then if you tell a friend, if you tell your mother, if you tell someone in your family, hey, could you do this for me, please? And they don't do it, and you are disappointed because you cannot trust them, because they didn't do what they told you to do. But how many times do you betray yourself? You tell, I'm going to do this, but over and over and over and over and over again, you lie to yourself. You cannot be true to yourself. So how can you have a good self-image about yourself if you cannot even trust yourself? So I'm telling you, start with the little things, start with the little disciplines every single day, because if you do not start with the small things, how will you be able to handle the big things? It's so funny for me, because a lot of people always say, I want to have all this money, I want to have this big team, I want to have this big impact, I just want all the things, just give me the big things, I'm going to handle them, I'm going to learn how to handle them. How can you learn how to handle them if you cannot even keep up with the one task that you give yourself every single day? If someone cannot manage €1,000, how is he going to be able to manage 10,000? People think that if they get more of something, if they get something more, they will be able to handle it. But no, this is not the case. When someone gets a million, guys, when someone becomes a millionaire, like in the lottery, right? A year later, 99% of these people are at zero again, guys. But do you know why? Because their mindset was at zero, because they did not work on their mindset and they didn't know what it took to get to that level to make a million. Because the millionaires, they do not play the lottery. People who have a poor mindset, they waste money to play the lottery, but a millionaire would never ever pay 10, 20, 30 euro to try to win the lottery. You know what I mean? So it all starts with you. Work on yourself. Do the little small things every single day. Get to know yourself more. Give yourself little tasks and go after them. And guys, obviously it's easy for me to just say it, but you just have to do it. You just have to do it. I had a call with one of my girls yesterday and she said, Julia, I know everything that you just told me. I know it. I know it. I know it. This is the conversation I have with myself. But the thing that is stopping me is to execute it, to do it. But guys, I'm here to tell you, we can show you how to cook, but we cannot make you hungry. We can give you all the recipes in the world. We can give you all the meals in the world. But if you don't want to use them, if you don't want to if you don't want to eat, it won't matter at the end of the day. You just have to do it. At the end of the day, what you have to do, okay? Work on yourself. As I said, do the little tasks. Just do something every single day that you feel like you're getting somewhere, And even if you feel like on the days where you feel like, oh, nothing is working, you don't feel like nothing has changed, just look at where you come from. Just look at where you come from, where all had started, okay? It's about the journey. I always say that because people just look at the big thing, just look at the big thing, I don't know, to retire their family, to buy their dream car, to, I don't know, to do their dream job or whatever. But the journey is what they forget. But make sure, I'm just here to remind you, this is a bit off of topic right now, but I see it all the time that people get so frustrated because they don't have the results that they want. Everything is going so slow. They don't feel like it's going as they want it to go. But guys, you're here to enjoy the journey, because when you are at the top, when you get there, what is the only thing that you're going to remember? The journey, the person that you became on the way. So make sure that you enjoy the journey every single day. That you see it where you come from. Because this is, at the end of the day, if you have that $1 million account, if you put your mother in I don't know, into pension or whatever, the only thing that you will remember is the person that you became along the way, what it made of you, what it wanted you to become what it wanted to become as a person. And as I said, the only thing that you're going to remember is the journey, right? So I want to give you 2 tasks, and I also want to send you a PDF that Bob gave us. Well, he didn't give it to us, he died. He died sadly, but it's a PDF that he did about confidence, because confidence is such a big thing. When we think about confidence, guys, what do we think about? That confidence is this characteristic is like gold. When someone walks into your room and has confidence, you're like, wow, this is crazy. Would you like to date a guy, like to my girls right now, would you like to date a guy that might look good, might have a good car or whatever? Like, I don't even fuck with this, but he has no confidence. He's like this, and he doesn't know, he cannot talk to you because he's so scared to say something. Or would you go with a guy that has maybe a little belly, a nice I don't know, a Skoda or whatever, like a car for $2,000, but he is confident as fuck, and he comes to you and he says what he wants. He holds the door open. He always has an answer. You would go with the guy that has confidence, because confidence is sexy. So I want to send you a PDF about confidence, because the people that do have confidence, they know who they are. And they just accept themselves as they are, because they know they cannot change. Like, they can change, obviously, but were put on this earth like that person, and either they're gonna be frustrated their whole life because they cannot be person A, B, Z, or they're just happy that they are this person that they are and live with that person and just do everything that they can. Because we always get so caught up. This was me when I was in school. There was a girl that was so pretty and everything. I was like, wow, how would my life be like if I would be her, if this would happen, if the guys would look at me like they look at her. But then I was like, what am I doing? I'm wasting energy. I'm focusing on someone else instead of looking where I could go, how I could improve myself. So make sure that you just accept it for yourself that you are who you like. You're not who you are, right? You can change, but that you are this kind of person, and that you are this kind of person because you need to be this kind of person, and that's people will love you for that kind of person if you truly step up, and if you are that person, if you don't try to be someone else. You know, we're so scared to stand out. We're so scared to stand out that people look at us. But the people that we look at the most, the people that stand out the most, the people that we admire the most, who are these people? These are the people who are themselves. Let's just talk about influencers, the big YouTubers or whatever. We admire them. They stand out the most because they are themselves. And let me tell you one thing that the most people are afraid of, like at their deathbed, people that were like 90, 100 years old, they said, I wish could have been more of myself and not living a life that others want me to live for them. So I want you from now on to live the life that you want to live for yourself. Don't give a fuck about what anyone says about you, what anyone said that you're doing this business or whatever. It's like, who do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. Guys, these people, at some point, if you keep going, if you show them how it's done, if you show them that when they doubted you, that they should have not doubted you because you are here to win, these people will come back to you and ask you how you did it. I have people in my DMs, I have people from my hometown. They were like, oh my God, are you stupid? You're one of these now? You think you're like a financial educator or whatever. These people a year later now seeing I'm traveling around the world, making money through my phone, living in Mexico. These are the same people from my school that asked me, oh my God, Julia, can you explain me again what you do there? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I cannot, but it feels good, you know, so just do it, because a stranger will not, your family or your friends will not clap for you until a stranger claps for you. This is the truth, honest, like this is the truth, right? But if it would be easy, everyone would do it. Okay, so just know that when it gets hard for you, you are on the right way. When people hate on you, you are on the right way, because if no one would hate on you, you would be doing something damn wrong. You would be doing something damn wrong if no one would talk to you, if no one would talk bad about you. So you're on the right track. You're on the right track. And if still no one is hating on you, if still no one talks bad about you, then you gotta be louder, okay? And you gotta make some more noise. So I want to end this with 2 questions. And I'm gonna send the PDF on confidence into the chat. So the first question is, how do you really feel about yourself? We always think about it, but we never truly write it down. But I'm telling you, writing it down is so important, because we have thousands of words, thousands of things we want to do in our head. But then we put it into paper. It's like, so where do I begin? So I want you to write down, how do you truly feel about yourself? Oops. How do you truly feel about yourself? And then the second thing, when you did that, I want you to write down the person that you want to become. Okay, write down the person that you want to become. Work on yourself. Get yourself that book, Psycho Cybernetics. Alina put it into the Zoom chat. I'm going to put it into the Bay chat again. But guys, as I said, how do you feel about yourself truly? And write down the person that you want to become, and write it in present. Just say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm the person that, I don't know, where's the C Armani perfume, walks around the street, everyone looks at me, I'm driving this car, I have the biggest confidence in the world, everyone is asking me how I'm glowing so much. Write it down as the person that you truly admire, and put it into present, and write it down as if it was you, and repeat it every single day. Okay, and this was it from me, guys. I hope you learned something. This is truly powerful, because with self-image, everything starts and ends, because it's everything that you hold in yourself, the opinion that you have of yourself. And this is where everything starts and ends. I hope to see some of you guys in Italy. It's going to be amazing, guys. If you're still thinking about getting your ticket, guys, the price is double. Okay, we weren't lying when it was early bird ticket. So get your ticket ASAP. I want to see all of you there. We are about to change lives there. And I'm telling you, when I had my first breakthrough, when I was at my first event, and every single thing has changed, because we can only show you, we can only tell you what we've learned there, but we cannot show you. We cannot give you how we felt, and how you feel at the end of the day is what changes. Just as Alina said, you have all these emotions, you get emotionally involved, and as you get emotionally involved with something is changing in yourself, and you start to have different actions, and like that you get different results. So if you haven't got your ticket yet for Italy, make sure to get that done, and I will send the PDF and the book, the link of the book, into the chat. Okay, guys, I love you. Let's get to 1 million. And next time, let's be 100 people on this call. Okay, bye.